Righteousness is a gift. And because it's a gift, we want to learn how to use it. Now, God is telling us that righteousness is a nature. And a nature is lifestyle. Nature is the totality of a thing. The nature of animals. You are describing the whole ecosystem that describes everything in that environment. So when we talk about nature, we're describing the totality of God and how it affects you. Does it have an effect? That's the point. He gave it as a gift. Okay, so I have received the gift. What does the gift have to do with me? That's our interest. Now, let's go to Proverbs chapter 14. Verse 34. Proverbs 14. Verse 34. He says, righteousness exalteth a nation. Righteousness promotes a nation. That means righteousness is a promoter. Are you hearing me? So the gift that you received, God is saying, it's a promoter. Now, that means that you received a promoter in your life. And therefore, what are you going to do with that promoter? Because now Pastor Ethel has received that gift and she discovers, oh, I've received a promoter. That means that I cannot remain down. Why? Because now I have a promoter. I have a lifter in my life. That's what God is telling us. He says, righteousness exalts a nation. It elevates a nation. And this is why, when you're born again, there is no way that your life should remain at the same state for a protracted period of time. Listen, don't get used to suffering or to being in the same condition for too long. Why? Because the nature of righteousness is that righteousness promotes. Righteousness elevates. Righteousness lifts up. Yeah. He says he lifted a beggar out of the dunghill. You see? That's the nature of righteousness. I mean, when you study God, you will notice all throughout the scriptures, God lifted different men from their precarious situation. Look at where he found David. David was a shepherd boy, casted out. He was the 8th born of his daddy. And he was the one that was given to head after the animals. And even when Samuel came to his father's house, his father didn't even think it could be David that would become king. When Samuel said, one of your sons has been chosen by God. Look at, the father presented all the sons, but he didn't consider to bring Joseph from where he was heading the animals. That means he wasn't even in his father's mind. That means his father didn't even have a thought that David could be the one. Maybe you have that kind of a family background where you come from a background where no one has ever thought anything good about you. Yeah. Every time there's anything worthwhile, it has always been your big brother. It has always been your young sister. Listen, righteousness has come to change the story. Yeah. He says, righteousness exalted a nation. And that's why now you need to learn, how do I put this righteousness to work? Because a gift doesn't wake you. You wake the gift.